friends. Welcome back to another studio vlog here at Lemon Tree Corner. If you don't already know me, my name is Heather and I run a small handmade business called Lemon Tree Corner where I make purses and bags and project bags for makers like you. Welcome, welcome. This week in the studio we will be continuing work on one of the Annie's blankets. This time I'll be going back to the Christmas blanket. So just as a reminder, we've done the first 3 rows, so we're going to continue on with that blanket, which I'm very excited about because it's going to be a lot easier than the other one. I'm very proud of myself for getting through the last month's kit of the Moroccan blanket. And all of these are Annie Kit Club blankets, and I'll put a link down below for the Annie's Kit Clubs. I really enjoyed working on them. It's just, I feel like the Christmas stripe one is a lot easier, a lot more beginner friendly than the one that I'm working on with the Moroccan one. But very proud of myself for getting through that. It's very good. I just want to remind you that if you're watching this video or you've watched other of my videos and you like them, I would encourage you to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and that way the algorithm will introduce me to other like-minded people like yourself, so we can grow this channel together. So just really excited to have this YouTube channel and this opportunity to spread joy through art throughout the world. So if you're interested in mindfulness, a handmade business, crafts, crochet, scrapbooking, anything like that, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll see all of my videos when they come out, which is usually on a Saturday morning. And then also in the studio this week, we're going to be editing all of the product photos that I took last week. Also working on putting the charms together. Once I have the charms ready, I can also take product photos of those and put those in the shop, so I will have a lot of project bags and little pouches and progress keepers to go in the shop. And I will let you know when the shop update drops on here and also on Instagram. If you want to follow me, my handle is @LemonTreeCorner on Instagram, and I'll definitely put the word out there when everything's in the shop and ready to go. And the shop is at www.lemontreecorner.com/shop, which I should have just put down below, so I'll put that down below as well. One thing I wanted to talk to you about this week is, things have been like really slammed at work, and I get home and I just don't really have the energy to focus on what I call my real work, which is the work I want to be doing, the work that I would love to transition into full-time, and just finding time and energy for that. It was so rewarding last week to take all the product photos, and it just reminded me of why I love this handmade business so much. It's because it takes advantage of all of my skills. And it's interesting because I learned all of these skills in different places, but they all come together beautifully for this business. I have a degree in graphic design, so I don't have to hire somebody to make a logo and make all of my product things and my business cards and branding and all of that. I really enjoy working on all of that and get a lot of pleasure out of designing that. And the website, I know how to do that. I know how to do the product photography and to crop everything and make it look the way that I want it to look. And I obviously have the sewing skills to make all the bags. And I even designed my own craft fair display area. So I haven't been able to do one of those for a while because of the pandemic, but hoping to get to do one of those next year. Maybe a few of them next year. We'll see how things go. But just feeling like I have all these skill sets, including being organized. I mean, I have all of my patterns and sleeves, protective sleeves. I keep track of everything. I rate the patterns. I grade them all on how easy they were for me to do, how viable I think they would be as a product. So I have all of that organizational know-how as well. as well as the accounting, because I do a lot of accounting in my day job. So it's just interesting how all of those skills come together to support my journey running a handmade business. So it was very interesting to tap into that last week with taking all the product photos and just feeling like, I got this, I know what I'm doing. Even when it feels like I don't have time to devote to the business, which has really been getting me down lately. And one thing that I wanted to talk about this week is just what do you do when you're feeling like that? When you're feeling exhausted, you don't have time for your creative projects, your crafts, your business, your side hustle. What do you do in that case? And I've been getting lots of advice. One of the things was to take the pressure off. One of the things I have to remind myself of all the time is just take the pressure off. I can't be creative if I feel pressure to be creative. It just doesn't work that way. So the trick is to show up. Just show up. Turn the TV off. Sit at the desk. Sit in front of the blank piece of paper or the sewing machine or wherever it is that you want to be inspired, want to be creative. Just show up. Set a time. It could be Saturday morning, Sunday evening, Monday afternoon, whenever it is that you can devote some time and just sit there. Be ready. Get dressed, brush your teeth, have a snack. Do whatever it is you need to do to be fully present in that moment, because if you don't set aside the time for this, it's just not going to happen. And that's the reality of it. And you may not be creative as you're sitting there in the space that you've set aside, the time that you've set aside for this. And that's okay too. But if you don't show up, it's not going to happen. So that's the big thing. Another thing that I read about is the Pomodoro method, which is basically take 15 minutes. I get home from work, I'm tired, I want to put my feet up for a little bit. But after a couple of hours on the couch or eating dinner, I've exhausted my YouTube people that I watch, and now I'm just watching random stuff on YouTube that I am half interested in. I'm looking at my phone. So that would be the time, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when I could turn off the TV. Show up, sit at my desk, sit at my sewing machine, and devote some time. And this basically says start with 15 minutes. Just start the thing. Just set a timer for 15 minutes. Do I have the energy for 15 minutes tonight to work on my dream? Basically, it's my dream. So I can afford 15 minutes to sit there and work on it. And let's see how I feel. When that timer goes off, am I feeling energized? Am I feeling like I can continue this? Then I go for another 15 minutes. If the timer goes off and I'm like, oh, I'm just exhausted, I really can't concentrate, I've actually messed up a step because I can't focus right now, then you stop. You stop and you do something else and you come back to it another day. So I think that's about it. The semester is ending. Yay! Summer is coming. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, work-wise at least. And then we have a 4-10 schedule over the summer, which means that we work 4 days and we have Fridays off. So that gives me a lot of 3-day weekends and a lot of Fridays to commit to doing this work. This very important, very treasured, very loved work that I get to do. So that gives me an extra day a week to focus on my business, which is always a delight. So let's go into the studio and get to making some things. So I just wanted to give you a little insight about the process here. One of the things I'm really well known for at work is my organization of files. So here we have my lemon tree corner files, all of the different things, and then under selling we have all the product photos for everything that I've done. So back in time from the Etsy shop that I had with the aromatherapy to nowadays with the bags and purses. So these are all the bags and purses that I have put up for sale at one point or another on the web shop. And right now we are dealing with the Metro double zip pouch, which are the photos I took. So Metro number 1 was the original Metro that went up on the web shop, which has since been sold. And then what we just took pictures of is Metro 2 through 8. So the first thing I do is I catalog these into which bag they are, and this correlates with an Excel file that lists that Metro 8 is going to be the Metro zip pouch with this one has the flowers and the mint and the turquoise. So I would describe the fabric for these, and you can see here what I was talking about earlier, which is the sides of the light box, which are not covered, is something that I'm gonna have to crop out. I also like to brighten the photo. So it's just this photo thing that I have to go through. I try and take 2 shots of each pose, what we're calling them poses. So I will go through here and just do a quick look of which one looks less blurry. So like right here, this is a little blurry. Is the second one clearer? It's a little clearer. So I kind of feel like I'm at the optometrist when I do this, because I say, better 1, better 2. Better 1, better 2. Better 1, better 2. And I haven't taken that many of this was the last bag that I shot for the whole day. So I got pretty selective about the poses. I only did 3 poses for this one, which is not good. And I've already forgotten what we decided. Better 1, better 2. I think 1 and 2 for the second one and 1. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and delete these so that I only have these 3 to work with. And then we're going to go over to Photoshop and open those 3 up. And we are going to select all 3 of them, if I can do that with one hand, which I can't. So we will open them like this then, since I can't do it the other way with one hand. So now we have the 3 bags, and I basically, 3 photos. I basically go through the same steps with every photo just to clean it up. So I kind of bring it over here. I'm going to crop it a bit. I still want to have enough white space around the bag that I can play with it once I bring it into the web design, that I have enough room around the bag. I'm going to increase it a little bit. We're going to pick image size with 300 pixel resolution. That's pretty standard for the industry. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to do an adjustment layer, which I like to use levels. It really gives you a clear look at, okay, this, this photo has a lot of dead space over here. So as I drag that over, you'll see that the whole photo lightens up. So the white space gets whiter, everything gets brighter, and that's what I want from that. And then we are also going to do a smart sharpen, just to sharpen up all the edges here. Now some of the photos, I wind up still having that background and I have to clone them out, but this one's nice. It works out fine. Unfortunately, the new version of Photoshop, I have to save a copy in order to save it as a JPEG. Once I do all of this, it doesn't want to just save over my original JPEG. So that's what we do, and we do that 2 more times. And Lucy is snoring in the background, if you can hear her. So we do this. Now, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I just don't want to sit in front of my computer all day, so I have moved my laptop into the TV area so that I can watch reruns of something I have seen a million times before in the background, just to make this a little more interesting for myself. And it's also a good weekend because my husband is at a friend's wedding this weekend, so it's not like I'm missing out on anything to do. And because of COVID times, can't really go to anybody's house for a barbecue or anything. So this is what we're doing for Memorial Day weekend. It's going through all of these photos. So you can see once we're back in here, you can totally tell which ones I've altered. Plus they say copy, so it's pretty easy to tell just from sight for me which ones I'm getting rid of. And then we have a naming convention, which is Metro whatever number it is, dash whatever number the photo is. So it's kind of my naming convention for these. If I can type with one hand, Metro, and this is the 8th bag. So we're going to go 8-1, and then, oops, going to copy the file name for that. Copy, paste, and make that 2, and then paste and make that 3. So basically that's what I'm doing as the initial go through for all of these. So we did the Metro double zip pouch. We took photos of that, and we also took photos of the clematis wristlet. This first one has already been sold, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more wristlets that are going to be going up on the web shop. And then I decided to take the project bags out of here since I'm going to have a lot of project bags moving forward. So I kind of made the project bags their own thing here, because these are all the ones that we're going to be making in production. The ones we started with are the squishy project bags. So this one is already in the shop, and then these are the new ones. And you can see I took a lot of photos, different poses here of these ones. I have just your basic product one, and then one with some crocheting, kind of set the stage, some yarn coming out of it, so you kind of get the idea of what it's for. And you'll see the sides here that all have to be cropped out. With a larger item like this, it is going to be harder to crop all of this out. We will see how that goes when we get in there. Yeah, definitely one of the problems with doing larger bags in this light box is that you can see the sides pretty easily. I do have a old wooden fence panel in the backyard that I use for the bigger bags. I hang them off the fence, and then you've just got the fence as the background, which is nice. But for these guys, they're little enough to fit in the box, and the light box just gives so much more light and a neutral background that I can delete if I need to, or brighten. So it just works out better this way. And then here's one with the old school knitting needles, so you get that idea. And then trying to get a picture inside the bag, which is quite difficult, but I had to use my phone camera for these ones because these ones needed a little flash inside the bag. So it kind of works. You kind of get the idea of what the inside fabric looks like, that there's pockets and there's a little progress keeper holder here. So, but still kind of dark. You can't even really see that in the video here, but it is lighter in the actual photo. I can see inside there. So that's what we're working with there. And I will go through. So I did the other 2 bags, so I really only have like 9 more sets of photos to go through and catalog and rename. And then the next step would be to put all of these in the Excel file of all the products that I'm selling, so that I have those all set with descriptions of the fabric, so that I know when I go to post them on the website. I use Squarespace for my web shop, and Squarespace is great about giving you an inventory number for everything you sell. So as these are created in the web shop and I make a listing for them, they will get their own unique item number, product number in the web shop. And then I'll go ahead and put that in the spreadsheet as well. So let me know if this is interesting for you. So these are the ones that are currently on in the shop right now. And I have the fabrics used, blah, blah, blah. And then later, as they're sold, I put this information in. What shipping cost was, the tracking number for the item, all of that. So it's pretty well organized. I'll have to add all the new bags in here as I put them on Squarespace. Well, let me show you Squarespace real fast too then. While we're talking about all this stuff, I'm watching a Patreon video. Okay, so we've got Squarespace. This is the back end of the website. And I know website design, so this is really great for me to have all this in one place. So I go to Pages, Shop, and then I have all of these different categories for everything. So project bags. So I currently have 3 project bags in the shop. It gives you a preview of what all of the listings look like. And then I can go into the listing, and there's different layouts you can pick. And so I go in and I put whatever photos that I want to put in here, which is good. And then I have a description and the dimensions and everything. And then it auto calculates the shipping based on what I've put in. So it's really interesting. Pretty easy to do. I mean, I do have web design experience and Photoshop experience and everything, which really helps me do all of this. If you had an Etsy shop and you didn't have any experience in this, Etsy just kind of helps you through everything and does it for you. So that's why a lot of people like Etsy.
Call me, tell me I'm alive, pull me, fill me up inside here. In the silence of the space, we all find the conclusion, break our illusions, way beyond seeking ourselves. Floating in my mind, taking what I find, how it is to where it's come and why it's meant to be. Dreaming I could lay in fields of Claude Monet. Sirens call my ear and I hear beautiful creatures sing to believers, way beyond seeking themselves. Tonight, oh tonight, I wonder if tonight is when I will feel it again. Tonight, I wish to live, I wish to stay. In the light, in the dark, on the verge of who we are, we solemnly reach for the stars. Tonight, I wish to love you all the way, all the way. Naked to the bone, opening my soul to how it is, to where it's come, to where it's meant to go.
That's it for this week. I wanted to give you an update on some projects. Unfortunately, I had to cancel the Etsy order. I asked for an investigation and Etsy to get involved because I still hadn't heard back on that yarn order. So we're calling it quits, which means I can't get any more of this yarn, which means I probably have to tear this all apart. I'm not a huge fan of this color anyway. So, I mean, all it is my time wasted. And I don't want to go on a rant, but as a handmade business, I just don't think it's very cool to do that. To accept an order, accept money for the order, and then not be able to fulfill the order, and not even send an email like, hey, I'm struggling with something, can you give me a couple of weeks? Just no contact at all. So I'm not really going to find out what happened or why she wasn't able to fulfill the orders, but at least with Etsy getting involved, I've gotten a refund for the yarn that I ordered. But, you know, like I said, I'd rather have the actual yarn to continue these projects. So here's where we were with the other shawl. I could either stop here and it would make like a nice scarf with a nice little edge border. Isn't bad at all. It's not quite long enough for a scarf to wrap around and it's a little wide. But I did find another Etsy yarn seller, so I'm going to give them a go and see if the yarn matches closely enough for that. And I really wanted that autumn yarn as well. So the yarn seller I ordered this yarn from to hopefully be like a darker version of this, to be another layer up here. Also had a very autumn colorway, so I ordered that from her. I'm going to show you where we got to with the Christmas stripe blanket. It's looking really good. I really like it. You can see here up at the top it's got like a back and forth with a little bobble. So that's fun. That was pretty easy. This stitch here in the pink is a star stitch, which conveniently is the stitch we ended on for the Moroccan blanket for the last step. So that's good. I really like the way that looks. It's a really nice stitch. And wanted to show you everything is up in the shop. Yay, shop update. So all those bags we took photos of last week are up in the shop and ready to order. I'll put the link in the description below, and I'm also going to put something out on Instagram. I'll let this video go out on Saturday, give it a couple of hours, and then post the shop update on Instagram so all of you can have a running start if you had a bag that you really wanted that you've seen me make in the video. And I'll show you a preview of the 3 bag types that are going up in there now. And then I didn't get the progress keepers up. I have to take photos of all of those and everything. So those will be in the shop probably in a week or 2. So stay tuned for those. So we have our lovely squishy project bags, which you have seen multiple times, that have a zipper, and most of them have a cute zipper pull to go with them. And then on the inside you have a slip pocket that's broken into 3 sections. So perfect for holding your needles, your scissors, your pattern, anything like that. And pretty roomy for if you're making socks or a scarf or anything. And then I also added a little ring here, and it's got a clasp on it. So you can put all your progress keepers on here if you would like and open it this way, or you can open it from the progress keepers side, either way. So it's good, and it has a little handle so you can carry it around. And then one of the other bags that I put up in the shop are these clematis wristlets, which are really fun. They have a little accent on the bottom. That one's fabric, this one's cork. So just really fun. And they have 1 zip and a little slip pocket where you can put your chapstick or anything like that. And then just a pretty roomy interior. And then it's got a detachable strap. So it's got a little wristlet strap. So you can carry it around like this. I like to carry it around like this so that I've got the wristlet on and I'm holding it. It's just less bouncy that way. And that does detach, which is nice. If you don't want the wristlet at all, you just want to carry it like a clutch, you can do that as well. So I've got a few of those in the shop. And then we have the fun Metro Double Zip, and it's called that because it has 2 zipper compartments. So here's the Paris one, which is really fun, the Eiffel Tower. So what I try to do on the ones that I can have a fun zipper pull, the bottom one's just a regular zipper pull and the top one is the fun zipper pull. So we got one compartment here, which is pretty roomy. I'm sure it can hold like your average size cell phone. Definitely hold your keys or whatever you want separated so it doesn't clang into everything else. And then an interior pocket, just a nice roomy pocket for your wallet, keys, lipstick, Blistex, whatever you got going on. So I'm really excited to have those back in the shop. So those are ready to go for purchase. So after having a conversation with my CIO, my Chief Idea Officer, which is my sister, she was just giving me feedback on the videos, and I was telling her how I feel drawn in all these different directions. Just trying to keep the channel interesting for you all and trying to appeal to knitters and crocheters as well, you know, as people who would be purchasing the bags that I make. But in addition, bag makers might enjoy it, so I'm kind of all discombobulated on what content I want in these videos. And she pointed out, you've got like all these crochet projects going on and you haven't made a bag in weeks. So if bags is what I'm making, that's the business, maybe just focus on the bags. So next week we're gonna shake it up. I'll still show you the progress on what I've done with the crocheting, but you don't need to see me crocheting, especially if you knit or crochet already. It's not that interesting. I'll still pepper in like the dog walks and stuff like that, but I think I'll just stick to, maybe we'll focus on one bag, like this is the bag we're working on this week, and I'll film the whole process of making the bag, and maybe that's more valuable for the YouTube channel than me trying to go in 50 different directions. Like, let's stick to what the actual handmade business is, which is making bags. So comment down below, have you been liking the coloring book stuff and the knitting or the crocheting and all of that, or would you rather just see what I do in my handmade business, which is make the bags? And also let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video where we went into kind of the photo editing and the Squarespace. I'm more than happy to share more of how I set up Squarespace. I don't know if that's something interesting to you if you're trying to start a business and are interested in how all of that works. Another thing I did this week was I'm a Patreon of one of the other YouTubers that I watch. Produces beautiful videos. They're really well shot, really professional. And he did a Q&A kind of thing, a masterclass of how he edits his videos and also talking about the equipment he used. So I had asked about a gimbal because when I go on these dog walks or I'm walking down the beach, all the footage is very back and forth, and a gimbal is what would help stabilize all of that. And I've been having trouble picking one out. There's some that are like 3 pounds, and I'm like, I'm going to be holding this for a long time. I don't want to be holding 3 pounds and the camera. So he showed me what he uses, which is this contraption. And you put your cell phone inside this, and it's got a little magnetic clip that clips in, and he uses a cell phone for these gimbal shots, which is very interesting to me because I thought I'd have to be using my vlogging camera. But if he gets great footage with his cell phone camera, and I have a pretty good cell phone camera, why not do it that way? It's a much lighter. This thing's like less than a pound. And it's got controls. It's got an app on your phone, so you can use it with that. And it just stabilizes. So you'll see that footage next week. I didn't have it this week when I went on a dog walk. But we'll be doing lots of things over the summer, like going to the beach and that kind of thing. that I can get some nice footage to share with you, and then also when we go to Kauai. I'll bring this with me. So that's it for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and hopefully some restful time, and get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather if you have beautiful weather in your area right now. I know in Australia and New Zealand, you're heading into winter proper. So stay cozy, stay bundled, and stay safe, everybody. See you next week, everybody. Bye.